Hello, free subscribers to the Beyond the Garden Basics newsletter and podcast. Here's your truncated version of the full podcast that appears in the paid subscribers edition. It's a conversation with Sacramento County Master Gardener Gail Pothauer about unusual looking vegetables and why they happen. I hope you enjoy it. It used to be back in the fun old days that there would be people who would display some odd-looking tomatoes that they had grown, and if you looked at it from the side, you'd think, oh, that's a profile of Richard Nixon. So Richard Nixon tomatoes really took off with that prominent nose. But what caused Richard Nixon's nose on tomato plants? And now a lot of people are seeing horns and noses on tomatoes. What is causing that strange growth on tomatoes? Let's talk with tomato expert, Sacramento County Master Gardener Gail Pothauer about, I still like to call them Richard Nixon tomatoes, but I'm sure there must be a proper name for it.
Well, horns and noses, I guess. I don't know if there's an actual scientific name, but it's genetic disorder or physiological disorder that often has to do with the weather during the development of the tomato. And it's when the fruit is still microscopic. You can't even see the fruit yet. And some of the cells start to divide wrong, and it produces fruit, an extra fruit locule. The locule is the gel area where the seeds are. If you cut a tomato in half, you'll see those gel areas. That's a locule. And it produces an extra one of those. And then as the tomato grows, then that extra locule grows as well, and it starts to protrude and make a nose or a little bump here or there. Doesn't happen all the time. I mean, we might see it once each summer, usually about the rate of one fruit per 1,000 plants. And as I say, it has a lot to do with if temperatures are too hot or too cold when the fruit is developing. And it can happen on tomatoes. We've had it on eggplant and peppers. We've had eggplant that have had arms and peppers that have had funny little noses. So it's just kind of some whimsy in the garden.
Yeah, it is very odd looking. And I know that there have been fairs in the past that have featured the displays of odd looking vegetables. And that's always been one of them. You had an article about it in a recent Master Gardener newsletter. It was interesting to note that it could be a varietal issue, too, if people are choosing varieties that really aren't meant for their climate. And you, in the article, talk about the silex tomato.
Right. And that one was developed up in Oregon, and they have a completely different climate than we do. And so trying to grow it here in the Sacramento Valley, where we have really hot summers, could affect that, so that mutation happens during our hotter weather. So it is important to grow varieties that are adapted to our type of climate. So since we're in the Sacramento Valley where we have hot summers and cool, wet winters, we can stick with a lot of varieties that are, say, from Italy, the Mediterranean, Spain. Maybe varieties that are from the arid Southwest would be ones that would do well here.
Again, there's a longer version available if you're a paid subscriber to the Beyond the Garden Basics newsletter and podcast. You can become a paid subscriber by going to gardenbasics.substack.com. I would appreciate it. Thank you.